Well, to get a different perspective on the deadly drones of Pakistan, Syed Pirzada, strategic affairs analyst, is joining us on Press TV. Mr. Pirzada, thank you for joining us. One question that comes to mind is these U.S. assassination drone attacks are continuing. U.S. claims it is specifically targeting militants. However, as we see, there have been the past years, they're killing mainly civilians. Simply, why is this continuing?
Well, you know, the U.S. arrogance knows no limits. The U.S. respects no one's sovereignty. The U.S. does not recognize international law, be it Syria, be it Iran, be it Pakistan, and be it any other country. They believe they are still the solo superpower, and they believe it is in their interest to protect the West from the so-called, presence of Al-Qaeda along the Pakistan and Afghanistan border. And this is a situation in which, on the one hand, the hypocrisy is they call Pakistan a non-NATO U.S. ally, but on the other hand, since 2006, they are continuing to dismantle Pakistan's sovereignty, which is notably a nuclear state. So the question arises, what is the nature of the relationship of the United States with Pakistan? Most of the people agree, and I tend to endorse that view. It is a transactional relationship. And in this relationship, the U.S. believes that the Pakistan's economy and Pakistan's conventional force reaction will never be to the point where they can challenge the authority of the United States. So let's continue with the arrogance and the disregard for international law as well as the sovereignty of Pakistan.
Well, one thing is now changing, where Pakistan's High Court has urged the government to get more involved with this and change anything or put pressure on the U.S. to stop these attacks. In your opinion, will this have a positive effect and prevent these unmanned American drones from continuing?
Well, it will have some, it will add public pressure upon the government, yes, in terms of forcing the government to become more proactive in pressuring the United States to cut off the continuation of these drone attacks against Pakistan. There was, however, a report yesterday through some unnamed sources on Pakistan, different networks, not yesterday, day before yesterday, and those unknown sources said that there is some mechanism being developed between the United States and Pakistan, but that mechanism will take some time, and at the completion of that mechanism, after the completion of that mechanism, yes, there'll be an end to the drone strikes. But in my personal judgment, this is just a hogwash. The United States drone attacks will continue because it helps the United States in two ways. A, it helps what it considers to be its own objective of eliminating the extremists. But on the other hand, it keeps Pakistan under pressure. And because they intend to stay in Afghanistan until 2024 at least, that will be a good way to tell Pakistan, either you just follow our policy or be prepared to face the music. And it is a situation where no quarter in the world is being respected by the United States. Take the case of President Jimmy Carter, the former president of the United States. He just came up with that statement on American media that the drone attacks are illegal, they are a violation of human rights, and again, there is no, the word is not being heeded by Pentagon and by the U.S. establishment.
Well, Mr. Pirzada, with you saying that the United States plans on staying in Afghanistan well beyond 2024, do you think because the United States and Pakistan's ties are tense at this moment, do you think that these drone attacks will continue?
I very much believe that the very basic purpose of staying in Afghanistan is not to restore normalcy or restoration or achieve restoration of peace. You see, there will not be any peace as long as the U.S. presence is there. So their presence is to keep their forces deployed, the air and ground forces along Pakistan-Afghanistan border, to continue to intervene into Pakistan, to continue to bombard Pakistan, Pakistan's tribal areas, and of course to continue to dismantle Pakistan's sovereignty. The United States has become an international, spoiler of peace. This is the reality at the present time.
Very well. Thank you for that. Syed Pirzada, strategic affairs analyst, joining us right here on Press TV's World News from Islamabad.